Bye, have a great time.
ADR, this is King Black, everybody's favorite Latin King, coming at you once again with this video entitled Be Your Own Person. That's the most important thing that you can do. Don't try to fit anybody's mold. You know, when you've been around the types of situations, people, and lifestyle that many don't make it past 25 years old in, you get to see your fair share of personality types and the kind of people you gotta ensure not to hang around if you plan on living whole and staying in the clear. When you idolize the wrong kind of people as cool and try to impress them or do things they tell you to be seen as cool by them, you end up doing things not conducive to your health. They typically are the ones to pull you down. In life, you should be trying to surround yourself with people that are going to inspire you to be better. People that will actually help lift you up. People who care about seeing you not mess up your life, about making the right decisions, being smart, mature. In a couple of years, if not months, the toxic people you choose to associate with will either no longer be there or they will cause you to err so gravely that your life will be changed forever and not for the better. Many people are in jail right now because of some of these toxic friends and toxic people that have let into their lives and influenced them to make the wrong decisions. Especially when you are younger and you don't place attention on the small things that can serve as warning signs and red flags. When something goes against your morals, that shouldn't be a subtle sign. You shouldn't let that fly, let it go. Sometimes it's just going to be impossible to avoid those who seek to destroy everything around them for personal gain, regardless of the cost. That's when maintaining a healthy distance while not becoming a part of their focus becomes important. Because if that type of person sees you constantly actively avoiding them, then they will actively go out of their way to mess with you. For the most part, a very low percentage of the friends you have now will still be in your circle 5 years down the road. Everybody's constantly changing, growing, branching out in different directions. You're constantly, getting into new things, falling out of favor of your old hobbies and picking up new ones. You know, you won't get a good return on investment of your time spending it pretending to be someone that you aren't at heart. And you will learn this lesson the hardest should you find yourself in a position when landing in some serious hot water and nobody comes to your aid. Those same people you work so hard to try and impress are going to be nowhere to be found. The important thing to try and manage is when these people start to go down and make waves, not to get pulled down with them. You know, you got to keep your circle tight and know the type of people you are letting be around you. You know, people can tell a lot about you by who you choose to hang around with. And if you like and you choose to hang around with a bunch of troublemakers, guess what everybody's going to see you as? Guess what group you're going to be lumped in with? The troublemakers. You're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble and a lot of hurt hanging with these people. Especially you kids still in middle school, high school, and to some extent college, man. So many people have destroyed their lives just going with their friends just because they didn't want to be seen as unpopular or chicken or scared. Look, man, as much as rap videos and movies may glorify crime, there ain't nothing fun about it when you get caught. There ain't nothing fun about it when you get arrested, when you're facing indictment, when you're facing 10, 15, 20, a lifetime behind bars. It ain't so fun when the prosecutor doesn't want to offer you a plea deal, or the best you can do is plead down to 25 years or 30 years with the possibility of parole after 10, 15, 20 years. All for something that you may have had little or no involvement in. You know, it's just like those people who are an accomplice in a murder, but they didn't actually do anything. They were just an accessory. They were present at the time and did nothing at all to stop it or report it. They are just as guilty as the person who killed that person, who murdered that person. You know, I'm not going to be one to touch on too much religion here, but the Ten Commandments are something that are common sense to live by. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father. And there are very few exceptions to that rule. If your parents are abusive drunks and everything like that, or some deviants, and that's completely different. The commandments aren't telling you to follow that kind of parenting. But I digress. You know, what you think is important now, what you think matters now, being seen as cool to your core group of friends now, it's not gonna, believe me, in the long term, it's not gonna matter. 5 to 10 years from now, people are gonna move away. And if you mess up your life doing something dumb to try and impress somebody, and they end up moving away or whatever like that, you still are dealing with the consequences of that. You know, Once you get a record, man, it's hard to expunge that shit, especially depending on the charge. And you don't want to accidentally pick up a felony. Like any little thing nowadays, there's cameras everywhere, cell phones everywhere. People are thinking of being slick. Back when I was a kid, tagging wasn't a big deal. People could tag a wall and get away with it. But now, man, Chicago, New York, you got so many cameras everywhere on the street corners. You got people with cell phones that you don't even know if they're recording you right now, wherever you happen to be listening to this to. You got hackers that can hack into your webcam. You got people that are just vlogging, Snapchatting, whatever. So whatever you think you're getting away with, you may not in the end get away with it. It might take time, but whatever wrongdoing that you are up to may catch up with you. Maybe a year from now, maybe a few months from now, maybe tomorrow, maybe 3 years from now. And I understand that, everybody wants to feel accepted. Everybody wants to feel cool. But you have to, as a human being, as another person to another person, you have to understand something called common decency. You got people out here robbing the elderly, knocking them out, you know, snatching women's purses and doing all this nonsense. And it's sad, man, because, what gives you the right to do this? You think you're hard, you think you can't be touched. No matter what, no matter how strong you are, man, no matter how hyper vigilant you think you are, sooner or later, you're gonna have a moment where you're not paying attention, and that's when somebody who has had enough patience and time will take advantage. You shouldn't be bullying nobody. I mean, as a kid, is different than now. Now you have a lot of suicides and stuff that are being pinned on bullying and stuff like that back. And that's because of the internet. Because people bully kids and post it up online, and that video stays online forever. And it gets shared around and goes viral. Man, I can't even speak. Back in my day, we didn't have that internet, man. We had them floppy disks and 56K modems, man. Ain't nobody posting no video online bullying somebody. Things stayed local. And back then, it was either you defend yourself or, something. Back then it used to be, a fight in the playground, and you stop being bullied, and that's it. You show that even if you lost the fight, that you're willing to fight, and you move on. But now you have these kids that are being tormented by strangers online due to a video being posted of them, memes being, attached to somebody in particular, and it messes up with their mental state. It gives these people mental trauma, emotional trauma that they carry with them into their adult life, or causes them to do something crazy, something unfortunate. You have to be your own person, man. Because when you're 30, 40 years old, you're going to have your own problems, man. You're going to be worrying about how to pay rent, how to pay your light, pay your internet. Your friends now ain't going to do that for you. You can only do that for yourself. So you should be doing your homework, doing your projects, trying to do the best you can in everything that you do. So that way you can set yourself up in life for adulthood. So you can land yourself a good job, so you can get into a good college. So that you're not lost in college. You don't want to be flunking your classes. I want all of y'all out there, I don't care what organization you belong to better yourselves. To leave the drama behind and focus on what's really important, man. One day you'll have a family if you don't already. You got to take care of business. ADR.